higher television ratings, higher attendance figures. Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't come courtesy of a league. It comes courtesy of the players that play in the league. And in her case, she was the most popular, which means she could have helped your bottom line, which means you should have seen that from day one and maximized it, but you didn't do it.
Stephen A. Smith has never been shy about speaking his mind. But this time, he didn't just spark a debate. He lit the whole place up. His passionate criticism of the WNBA's handling of Caitlin Clark wasn't just the usual Stephen A. energy, it was a serious wake-up call. At the core of his frustration was the league's complete failure to truly capitalize on its biggest, most marketable star.
You were a bit hesitant and reluctant and resistant to it. So much so you didn't push for her to be on Team USA. So much so you had people like Cheryl Swoops who didn't even want to mention her name.
Imagine a player so exciting, so game-changing, that she's packing arenas and breaking TV records before even reaching her peak. Caitlin Clark isn't just talented, she's the superstar women's basketball has been waiting for. But instead of giving her the star treatment she deserves, the WNBA has responded with little more than a shrug. Fans everywhere are confused. How can a league desperate for growth turn around and treat its biggest draw like an afterthought?
Then are you willing to admit how stupid it was for y'all not to go all in speaking your piece to elevate Caitlin Clark? So therefore even more attention could have come and y'all could have reaped the benefits? Now you're going to do it anyway, and I get that, but you see my point?
But Stephen A. wasn't just pointing out a missed chance to boost publicity, he was sounding a serious alarm. The WNBA is standing at a crucial turning point. If they mishandle Caitlin Clark's rise, they are not just losing a good marketing moment, they are risking the biggest chance for growth the league has ever had. If they keep offering only lukewarm support, the real question won't be what could have been. It'll be what did they just waste.
And everybody talk about other WNBA players not being appreciated. Nobody insulted them. Nobody dismissed their contribution. We were simply saying despite the contributions for years and years and years, a lot of people didn't care. Fair or not, until Caitlin Clark came along.
When Stephen A. joins a conversation, it's never just background chatter. It's a headline. His latest takedown didn't just call out a few bad decisions. It completely lit up the WNBA's leadership. He especially went after Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and longtime figures like Cheryl Swoops, accusing them of acting more like jealous rivals than true trailblazers for the next generation.
If you went the opposite direction, it could have helped that much and facilitated you being in an even stronger position to get yours. But you didn't do it. You didn't do it. Wow.
Just look at how the league responded, or really, didn't respond, to Caitlin Clark's flood of awards. We're talking Forbes 30 Under 30, SBJ Sports Person of the Year, AP Female Athlete of the Year, Times Athlete of the Year, and that's just a few. Here was a once-in-a-generation talent pulling the league into the national spotlight, building her own empire along the way. And what did the WNBA leadership do? Almost nothing. No big campaigns, no major promotions, no rallying cries of "this is our moment." Kathy Engelbert seemed to think standing quietly on the sidelines was enough leadership for a lifetime, and don't even get started on how they handled Clark's Rookie of the Year announcement. In past years, rookies got full celebrations, team events, primetime spotlights. Clark. She got a phone call. That's it. The biggest star in women's basketball in decades, and the WNBA made her big moment feel about as exciting as a spam call. Fans noticed, and they were furious. They didn't need Stephen A. to point it out. They were already shouting about it long before he stepped in.
They were going to let her know she was Rookie of the Year with a phone call in Connecticut during a practice before a playoff game. You can't make this up.
The real question everyone should be asking is, why is this happening? Why is a league that claims it wants more attention acting like it's scared of the best thing that's ever happened to it? Why the strange, passive-aggressive attitude toward the player who's bringing women's basketball into millions of new homes? It's almost like they are afraid of success if it doesn't fit their preferred narrative. Stephen A.'s takedown wasn't just another hot take. It was the truth fans and insiders have been quietly saying for months. And he didn't just focus on Caitlin Clark. He called out the whole system. This isn't just about missing a PR moment. It's about a league that doesn't know how to handle a superstar who's rewriting the rules and refusing to follow their old playbook.
It elevated television ratings, it elevated attendance, and it damn sure elevated franchise value. But now, something that y'all resisted talking about, opining about, acknowledging.
In most sports leagues, everything revolves around marketable superstars. Just look at how the NBA built around LeBron James and Steph Curry. But somehow, the WNBA found a unicorn in Caitlin Clark and shrugged, like, she'll figure it out. She's breaking attendance records and pulling TV ratings that most women's sports could only dream of. Yet the league acts like she's more of a headache than a once-in-a-generation opportunity.
Some haterade in the league in regards to Clark, starting with WNBA legend Cheryl Swoops herself.
That's exactly why Stephen A.'s criticism hit so hard. The stakes couldn't be bigger. This isn't just about Caitlin Clark, it's about the future of the entire WNBA. Fans are begging for real leadership. They want someone in charge who actually understands the moment and isn't afraid to fully back the superstar standing right in front of them. Because if the WNBA keeps mishandling this, it won't just slow down growth, it'll send it into full reverse. Smith didn't go off because he dislikes the league. He went off because he wants it to thrive. But thriving means realizing that a few half-hearted Instagram posts and empty slogans won't cut it. The WNBA needs a real plan, a clear vision, and the guts to follow through.
I said Caitlin Clark, rising tide lifts all boats. As much as her presence was maximized by the WNBA, you players could have done more to assist it.
Speaking of weak leadership, let's talk about Cathy Engelbert's latest attempt at spin control. When the commissioner finally got some real airtime on major platforms like 60 Minutes and CNBC's Power Lunch, fans and players hoped for some clarity, some vision, maybe even a little fire. Instead, Engelbert delivered what felt like a corporate shrug. No urgency, no real passion, just a lot of business speak that left everyone wondering if she even watches the games. During her 60 Minutes interview, Engelbert was tossed an easy question. What do you think about Caitlin Clark's impact? This was her chance to rally behind the league's biggest star in decades. But instead of seizing the moment, she gave one of the most deflating answers possible. No league is about one player.
I noticed when you're asking about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries. And you can't do that alone as one person.
Translation, we're too scared to put all our eggs in the Clark basket. Which is absurd, because right now, the WNBA's entire marketing strategy should be Caitlin Clark and friends. Can you imagine if the NBA had responded to Michael Jordan's rise with, "Hey, we're bigger than Michael. Good luck with that." By acting like Caitlin Clark isn't the face of the league, Engelbert and her team aren't just wasting an incredible opportunity. They're insulting the intelligence of fans who know exactly who's driving ticket sales, viewership, and the conversation about the WNBA.
You know basketball. You know basketball. You know basketball. You know basketball better than me. You know basketball than any of the pundits. You know basketball better than most of the men that play basketball. There is no way in hell you just accidentally left Caitlin Clark's name out of that soliloquy that you dropped about the Indiana Fever. Stop it. You know that. Stop it.
Cathy Engelbert's comment, "No league is about one player," might have been technically true, but it landed with all the impact of a lead balloon. It didn't just sound neutral. It felt dismissive, almost as if she was downplaying the very superstar who's driven record-breaking viewership, ticket sales, and media buzz. Instead of celebrating the momentum Caitlin Clark has brought, Engelbert came off like she was trying to downplay it, and fans didn't miss it. Within minutes, social media was flooded with outrage, calling out the WNBA for missing a rare, golden opportunity. Things only got worse during Engelbert's appearance on CNBC's Power Lunch. Instead of addressing pressing issues like player safety, officiating problems, and fair treatment, she resorted to safe buzzwords and tired marketing lines, rivalries, excitement, storytelling, all the fluff. It felt like listening to a CEO avoid responsibility after a poor earnings report. Fans, players, and analysts were all crying out for something more, real leadership, real accountability. But what they got was a corporate smokescreen. And in that moment, the gap between the league's leadership and the reality fans and players were experiencing became painfully obvious.
One white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another.